Hi everyone, this is Manly Badass Hero and welcome to Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds. Phantom Breaker is an anime beat-em-up that features characters from visual novels and games developed by 5PB. A majority of the characters come from the Phantom Breaker fighting game series, but you probably won't recognize them. But it does feature guest characters like Christina from Steins Gate, which was a visual novel also developed by 5PB. Side note, this video is sponsored by the publisher, and this game, along with some other weebish titles, are all on sale on Steam right now. So either find the game interesting or fun looking, pretty much right now is the best time to buy it, or if you already have the game, then pick up the Kurisu DLC so you can live out your Steins Gate's fantasies. Compared to most beat-em-ups, this game actually has quite a bit of leveling going on, and your characters are actually pretty gimped past the initial tutorial level. So you have your Phantom Breaker characters, you have Christina. My personal favorites are, of course, Ninja Girl, because she has a scarf and she's a high school ninja, and of course Kurisu. I'm gonna go for Lava Coat, Christina. So Christina, kind of a fun character. Almost all of her attacks revolve around the entire cast. Which it's kind of quirky. She's not as straightforward as the other characters. And she also has a flamethrower. I really don't know where the flamethrower came in from the series, but, Okabe used to kind of piss her off, and I can imagine her lighting him on fire. For the most part, a pretty basic beat-em-up. It has some combos, some special attacks, and techs and stuff, which is a little bit unusual for beat-em-ups. Usually they're pretty simple. It has air grabs, ground grabs. And it's also two-stage. I do just kind of like that style they got going. I think the graphics overall, they look real nice. Kind of 2.5 3D stuff going on. Essentially, you start off the first level with maxed out levels and skills, and then they get sucked up, kind of Samus Metroid style. And then from that point on, it's a grinding game. So the first level is pretty much a breeze, and after that, some of the bosses are actually somewhat difficult and require you to think a bit, and not just a typical spam jump attacks, hope you don't get stuck in a killer combo beat-em-up thing like from the X-Men days, but actual blocking and dodging of attacks and using up air grabs and stuff. So I kind of like the boss fights in this. And frankly, I really just like playing as Christina because I like Steins Gate a lot, and it gives me an excuse to keep saying that name, because I love saying that name so much. Christina! Essentially. See here, I'm just kind of dodging into attacks because it just gives me a lot of that bar fill. You can block attacks, but I just prefer doing that because it fills that bar. Yeah, there you go, another typical day in Akihabara. Running around, beating up cat boys. Well, there's really more people with cat ears, which makes it progressively worse. Every character features multiple specials, and they all have kind of fighting game inputs. So it's not just a simple Double Dragon Ninja Turtles kind of spam a special loose health thing. They're a little more, I wouldn't say difficult, but they're not spam on command. But overall, a solemn beat-em-up. If I were actually to talk about some of the problems I've experienced with this game, is the default keyboard controls are pretty bad. I'm not sure if you can actually map the keyboard controls. I believe on launch you couldn't. They might have changed that with patches. And another complaint is, of course, with most of these beat-em-ups, especially the PC versions, they don't have online multiplayer. This actually had online multiplayer in the console versions, but the publisher or developer, one of the two, opted not to include it because the netcode was just too awful. And supposedly the netcode on the console version was awful. And this seems to be an issue with a lot of these beat-em-ups in general. A lot of them don't launch with multiplayer. Or if they do, they have very broken netcode. I'm not sure if that's the nature of these games, or it's because they're indie devs. And yeah, I've broken out Let's skip ahead a little bit. A lot of levels are very long, actually. And you get a lot of health, although you can theoretically die, especially on higher difficulties. But it's not quite the every hit's precious old quarter-eating arcade version beat 'em up. It's a little more... have fun making combos, beating up the people, trying to get hit and chain stun too much, and prepare for the DOS to probably kill you. Oh, and try dropping a satellite on people sometimes. So here's the first boss. If you're playing the arcade version when you're playing with your vanilla characters, he's actually kind of hard comparatively, but you know, you're overkey level infinite. Anyway, let me just go count. There's actually kind of a story to this game. There's some dialogues. Christina's have it because she's a DLC character, but it has nothing to do with these characters except being very sexy in a lab coat. At least if I can pull off move. Nope, just a satellite drop. But pretty much a lot of the bosses have the same moves as you. They have the homing attacks, they got the counters, they got the specials, they got the special blocks. So they're kind of like more of a fighting game mirror match. And there is some kind of fighting game-ish versus mode in this to kind of complement that. Anyway, I need to actually focus on this. As you say, there are no holds back. Come on. Come on, I'm gonna drop a maid on you. You drop so much money that you can't collect any of it before you sucked into a time portal and turtles in time. But yeah, here's a good example. Basically, you're very gimped until you start leveling up. Your combos are very basic. You don't have any specials or anything, so you have to unlock all that Metroid style. I don't mean in the sense you go around finding powers, but just someone sucks your powers at the start of the game, you know, and then you have to unlock them. Anyway, that's it for my preview of Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds. I used to play beat-em-ups quite a bit when I was younger, in the arcade days and in the Super Nintendo days, you know, like Turtles in Time and Simpsons and all that. Certainly a dated type of game, but I still find time whenever I see a anime beat-em-up or something like that to go and play them. A lot of times they add little interesting quirks and stuff to kind of keep them fresh, and usually the art's pretty good. There's quite a few Doujin beat-em-ups I've played. I think there's even some Toho ones that are out there that I used to play quite a bit. So they're nice distraction games, and I think if you had like a friend with you to play couch co-op, beat-em-ups are really great fun. And this is certainly at least a pretty, if not pretty solid gameplay-wise beat-em-up, so that's my opinion anyway. Anyway, thank you all for watching my preview of Phantom Breaker Battlegrounds. I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.